a whole new stratosphere of woke confusion. I'm concerned about feminism, I'm concerned about the growing gender divide. But before we get into today's episode, make sure you like this video. Before we dive into this episode though, make sure that you like this video if you have not already. If you've not already.
The Daily Wire is run like a McDonald's, which I'll show in this video, and no disrespect to McDonald's, like Donald Trump, I love McDonald's. I don't think it works though for a media company. The main thing we'll be talking about, recently they replaced Brett Cooper with the woman on screen here named Reagan. They seem to just basically push her into the comment section show, hope everything would be fine. As you can see, this is their most recent video, the top comment. It's pretty ironic that a show called The Comment Section completely ignores its own comment section. So as you can see, fans of this show are not happy, and I don't blame them. So there were rumors for a while that Brett Cooper may be leaving the comment section and Daily Wire. She confirms that here, as well as there's a word from Jeremy Boring of the Daily Wire.
The rumors online, and the rumors are mostly true. Today, December 10th, will be my last day hosting the comment section and working for the Daily Wire. It is not true that I am being forced out. It was my own choice to leave. And believe me, this is bittersweet. And now for some final thoughts from the God King himself, Jeremy Boring.
Bittersweet indeed.
I cannot be the only person that thinks it's incredibly off-putting they refer to this person, even if they're joking, as God King. Again, let me know in the comments, the comment section of my video about the comment section. Let me know. I find that nickname ridiculous.
We're sad to see Brett go, but we're excited to see her take the next step in her journey. Brett's an amazing talent, both as a personality and as an actress.
So it appeared there to be an amicable split between Brett Cooper and the Daily Wire, but as Candace Owen says here, maybe there's a bit more to the story.
Then the internet started interneting and recognizing some things. First and foremost, they recognized that Brett Cooper unfollowed Reagan. Okay, that is a major sign. Obviously, this woman was in her wedding in April. Now all of a sudden, Brett Cooper has completely unfollowed her. That kind
I remember Reagan is the woman that took over that show.
of signal that a little more went on behind the scenes. On top of that, Brett Cooper also unfollowed the Daily Wire, and she unfollowed Jeremy Boring.
And when looking online, it does seem like there is some tension between Brett Cooper and the Daily Wire, which I think this is just a massive miscalculation by the Daily Wire about how big Brett Cooper's star was. I think a company that handled this situation, similar situation, a lot better, which I'll show in the video, was Barstool. But here is Jeremy Boring in a conversation with Steven Crowder when they were talking about young talent.
Young talent, they don't get deals like this.
So they don't get deals that...
They can be wage slaves for a little bit, come over and make a salary and grow their brand.
that you then own.
Oh, I own parts of it. I don't own it. They can, when their contract's up, they can still go out and they'll still be famous. They can keep doing their shows, so go do a show somewhere else. They'll be in a far, far, far better place. You helped make them.
No, not long at this contract.
So that sheds some light on kind of Jeremy Boring's thinking about young talent. This, if you remember, this was a feud that Steven Crowder had with the Daily Wire about a year ago now, a little maybe over a year, about the contracts at the Daily Wire. So here's an example of how Barstool Sports handled, I think, a very similar situation with Alex Cooper, star of the Call Her Daddy podcast. When time came up to renegotiate a new deal, they couldn't, or they just chose not to pay her. But David Portnoy explains how the company dealt with that.
And then you say that too, Paul. The other thing that makes me think you have been very generous with the IP. I think you gave Throwing Fits, or what was their name when they were here, Failing Upwards. I think you gave it to them. I think you gave it to Nadu. It sounds you just gave it to Alex. So
I don't know, even to Jenna Marbles back in the day.
So they're talking about giving away the IP, which, I mean, in the short term, wouldn't make sense from a business standpoint. But I think the Daily Wire is dealing with the ramifications of this. It's going to perhaps cause long-term damage to the brand. You just have this comment section show. The comment section has over 4 million subscribers. Brett Cooper has done a phenomenal job with that show. You can't just really plug someone else in there who nobody really has ever heard of. I'd never had heard of this Reagan person. I'm sure I'm in the majority. I don't think this person had a YouTube channel at all. And if they did, correct me in the comments, but Brett Cooper was like an A-list star in, say, Gen Z politics. And to just put someone else in there because, oh, we have the IP, I think the Daily Wire is learning now that the comment section show was way more about Brett Cooper and way less about, oh, the set and like maybe the topics the producers come up with, stuff like that.
I
So
am
I don't know, the
not
precedent.
a good negotiator. I am not like, let me grind the person. If you pull your weight, I will be more than fair with you to the end. I'm not like, I am fair. People may not think that.
So as I could say, like, I'm not necessarily saying Daily Wire is not fair, because obviously they have a very successful company. They've given out a ton of money. Like, they've made a lot of money for other people too. It's not just Ben Shapiro and Jeremy Boring making money over there. And certainly they've risen the star of Brett Cooper. But I think that the approach of Barstool in a situation like this is a lot better, which will be explained further here by Dave Portnoy.
People rep athletes, stars. She's in that level. And they really wanted to guarantee on the merch too. And it's like, we can't, because it's like, if we give it, it's the only person who can move merch is Alex. She decides. So Alex was like, I still want to be aligned with you guys. And she really relented on any sort of guarantee. And so it's like a rev share in her favor, and we'll continue to all the merch. To me, that's where a lot of the money is anyways, and we'll continue to do that. We're going to have a...
So I think that's a great example there of, look, Alex Cooper left. I'm sure they weren't thrilled about it, Barstool. Alex Cooper would have made Barstool a ton of money, but they continued their relationship and they continue with merch. So I don't know if they still have that deal in place. This clip's a few years old now, but at least for the time, they kept the relationship strong. I never saw any public fallout between Alex Cooper and Barstool was still like selling merch. I don't know if Daily Wire could have worked out some deal like that, but it looks at least like online the relationship is strained now.
A project that her and I are in Barstool are working on. So it really...
And so he says there, like, there's some sort of project that Alex Cooper and Dave Portnoy, at least at that time, were planning on working on in the future. Again, it does not seem like the Daily Wire and Brett Cooper have any plans whatsoever to work with each other in the future. That could change, but it's how it looks right now.
Is a replacement pod being looked for now?
No.
No, there's not like a women sex kind of thing that
we
we're
didn't
looking
look
at?
for that. That found us. We never look for anything. Things find us. But that's not something that you can just replace, I don't think. If we find somebody who's unique and good and interesting, sure.
And again, I think this is a far better approach for a media company to take. Just cut your losses. We're not going to be able to replace Call Her Daddy. Let's move on to something else. As opposed to the Daily Wire, let's just replace comment section with some new hosts. I think it's a short-term move. It's like McDonald's. It's not going to work. It's not like a fry cook that you're replacing. Shout out to the fry cooks. And I know I'm being pretty critical of the Daily Wire in this video, but I'll be critical of them just once more here. Watching the Daily Wire, to me, there's a lot of ads. It really seems like the Daily Wire is very concerned with money, which is fine, but I do think they overdo it a bit.
Because it's not about the money. It's kind of unreal to me that the only thing these people can still talk about is the money. The conversation was about conservatism, the movement, and big tech. They keep talking about money. I'm talking about a country.
And so that Crowder clip, again, is from the feud that he had with Daily Wire about the contracts. It's not perfect context for this video, but I bring it up to say it's not the first time I've heard, or at least thought, Daily Wire was very fixated on money. And then there's this video here of Ben Shapiro when he had Donald Trump on just before the election. It's an hour-long video, but Donald Trump is only there for about 26-ish minutes. But in that time, he runs one ad here.
There is no obligation.
And then again, I was watching this. I'm like, there's so many ads. Another ad here. So 5 minutes in. There's another ad at about 12 minutes in.
More with President Trump in a moment. First, October 7th.
And then again, there's another ad at around 2045-ish, 2054.
Or ChatGPT to make images.
And this ad, I think, was like a minute long for Oracle. I just thought that was a lot of ads for 26-ish minute video with a bunch of ad breaks. So like maybe more like a 25, 24 minute video. Then also it ended with an ad.
I want to be able to pass.
So 4 ads.
Actually wanted to get.
And then I don't know if they do more, but anyway, like, even if it's just 4, that's a lot of ads for maybe a 25-minute spot with somebody. Again, when I watch Daily Wire, in my opinion, they want to sell you a lot. They sell their products. Again, all this is fine. It's capitalism. It's okay. I think it's a bit much. I think their strategy, again, as like a total armchair strategist, it's a little bit focused, in my opinion, on short term. So final thoughts here, wrapping up. Part of me feels a little bad for Reagan. Again, I'm not exactly sure of the exact dynamic between her and Brett Cooper as friends. There's a lot of reporting online that she kind of like snaked her friend and took her job. So I don't exactly know. Maybe you can let me know in my comment section again, all the exact details of that. But again, I feel a little bad in the sense of she was just kind of put into this. I think somebody that's a higher up at Daily Wire, maybe Jeremy Boring, whatever, who would have been like approving this, just made a massive mistake. She gets put into this, I think, impossible situation to succeed. If you're going to try to compete with Brett Cooper, who again grew this channel to 4 million subscribers, that's incredible. And other than that, I do like the Daily Wire still. Like, I'm a big fan of Jordan Peterson. I'll continue to watch his content. I like Michael Knowles. I like a lot of the stuff they do over the Daily Wire. But I just want to make this video because it does seem like some of their ideas or some of their like strategy reminds me of McDonald's. I think, again, like a more long-term strategy might work better. What do I know? Probably everybody that works at the Daily Wire is 30 times more rich than I am. That's probably even being generous. It's probably more like 200 for some of the top people. But anyway, with that said, I'll finish the video here. Thank you very much for watching. Like and subscribe. See you in the next video.